Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. It's late at night. I didn't get a video out yesterday. I really apologize for that, but work got in the way. This is today's entry, though, in the 3.5 Monster Manual, and we're on the Purple Worm, which is a gargantuan magical beast that has a stinger for a butt. It looks like a dark, massive purple worm covered with plates of chitinous armor, and it has a giant mouth as big as a human is tall. Now, it's telling me the diameter of these things is 5 foot, but if its maw is as big as a human, it is tall, and a human is average probably, 5.5 to 6 foot tall. I would guess this thing probably is a little wider than that. So what I think I want to do is try to go 5 foot is an inch in D&D. I want to go a little bit over that. This is about 1.25 inches. This is from a tinfoil roll. And let's see what we can do with that. I'm not sure how that's going to work. So let's start with, I guess, trying to get an interesting shape going, maybe. Okay, this is way too sturdy for me to do what I want to do with it. That's a fact. Yeah, this is going to be really hard to work with. It's too thick. Yeah, okay. No problem. It was a nice thought. We need something else. So let's get... I don't know what to get. I don't have a plan. Damn me. Sorry, guys. Alright, here's a thinner roll from something else. And we should be able to work with this one a little easier. So what I want to do... kind of start getting our shape sussed out. And to do that, we're just gonna going to chop in here and cut out some angles and try to get a good shape going. That's all we're going to do. Now, it says this thing's 80 foot long, which would be 16 inches in D&D measurement. And I think that's probably going to be... I need to cut out a little bit more of that because it's too much still. All right, let's try that. There we go. Yeah, 16 inches is ridiculously long, and what I'd like to do is have our purple worm coming out of the base, and then kind of like part of it, I don't know, maybe another part of it coming out. I don't know how to do that just yet. I don't have all the answers. I didn't come into this with a plan. I worked like 13 and a half hours today and 13 and something yesterday, and I'm just I'm trying to get caught up here. I don't like to miss a video. But sometimes, this is not my job. This is like a hobby I do for fun. Shit. Alright, so let's see how long that is. And we're looking at about 9 inches here. So that means we have 7 more inches that would be underground and stuff. So we can have a little bit coming out on the end here. So I think what to do is to So what we're doing is we're going to kind of put these two inside of each other and make a taper. And this doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to kind of sit in there decently. Okay. So we're going to just kind of drag that around and get that glue all moved around. Don't burn yourself like I did. That's not smart. Then we're going to crimp that. Kind of get that down in there. And since we're going to be armor plating this whole guy, we don't have to worry about imperfections, you know. So they have a stinger at the end of their tail, and I didn't see a good picture of that, like for any real reference art. I saw some miniatures some people made, but again, I didn't really have time to do a lot of research, so right now we're kind of playing the best we can do right now game, okay? So let's set that off to the side, and let's start getting his main body kind of in the shape we want it in. Okay, so this might be a little easier to do with tape just to get it kind of in place. We'll see in a second here how much easier that is or isn't. So I'm just going to roll these down, and I'm just going to get some tape on there for now. Just kind of Tell you what, I've never had a lot of bosses that I thought were good. When I was in the Army, I liked a lot of the people I worked for. But in the civilian world, I've really struggled with a lot of bosses. And I have to give my boss credit. You know what? He always makes sure everything's okay. He always, wants to see where we're at and how things are going. He's attentive to... He runs an enormous amount of stuff, but he makes time for everything. And, like, I'm in the middle of doing a pilot on a chemical feed system, and it's like, we're not making any money on this. We're helping another company, and we're just, we work for them, but we're not getting paid extra for this. But he's really put the time and effort in to help me succeed, and I appreciate being told I'm doing a good job. Like, I work hard. I try my best to do what I can do to be good at whatever task I'm on. And I really do appreciate my boss's, the time he takes to talk to me about how I'm doing and where I can improve and stuff. Like, I need that, someone who can kind of babysit me and make sure I'm doing it as best as can be done. So there are a couple little spots here where we needed to open it up some because I'm worried about how heavy it's going to be as we move on. So I think the correct answer here, besides me taping that a little better, sturdy that up, see where we can make that. This needs to come up a little more, like he's coming back, so we're gonna have to add a little bit. Something like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get some glue in there, let that kind of settle down, and I'm just gonna get this cardboard here. Let me get a thin dab. I'm gonna add that inside here like that. Okay, move this back part around. Then I'm going to glue that front part in place. Okay, like that. And then we'll let that kind of cool and seal itself down. Yeah, it's a little warm. It'll be all right. Okay, we'll let that sit for a moment. And let's look at this tail. We need to make a cone that fits in there. So I'm going to get some thin cardstock stuff here. This is that plasticky kind of postcard from that board game I've been cutting up. I'm just going to steal a piece of this. Good. And I'm going to twist that into a point. Okay, that's not as easy to do as I'd hoped it would be. Okay, I need something smaller. So here's the thing. Statute of limitations on friendship and being concerned about people you've known in the past, stuff like that. This is an interesting topic. And I will say this on my own behest, that it's interesting. Not because it actually could be interesting. My best friend growing up, one of my best friends growing up, had a sister who, and of course, because he was my friend, she was always off limits. I'm married now, and I have no interest in trying to pursue anything with her. We have nothing in common, and we live, nowhere near each other, pretty much. It's a drive. I have no interest in her, besides the fact that I have known her most of our lives. However, she was married once, and she is now contemplating marrying someone I hate. And even though it's none of my damn business, I am so irritated. It makes me so upset. I can't believe it's happening. I am shocked and appalled. Now, do I have any right to have any opinions or feelings on this? No? No answers? Well, I would wager to say I have no right, but for some reason I'm still irritated and I care. And that bothers me because it's none of my damn business. Not in the least. No way, shape, or form should I care, but I am ticked. Sorry, I'm looking for something to use as a spike for this guy's rear end. La 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 la, butt spike. Give me a butt spike, baby. We need a butt spike, baby. Butt spike. All right, nice. Here we go. This will be a adequate butt spike. It's just a little skewer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue up that hole. I'm going to gather up this glue, twist it on there, shove it in, pull it back out so we get a good seal. And then once I think that's good and in place, I'm just going to come around here with this and just reinforce that. Okay. No, not perfect, but I think it's going to work for what we want. I'm just going to get glue here. Mount that. And reinforce some of this. And leave that be. Alright, so let's start working on our scales for this dude. So what we want is either foam or cardstock or like a thick card paper of some sort to do this. A milk jug could be really good. Do I have a milk jug down here? We could use that. No, I don't have one. But any kind of, something that's going to work to bend and form how we want. So for his, we're going to do all his front plates first, and then we're going to come back and do his back plates. So let me get a piece of cardstock here. And this is just a Velveeta cheese box here. And we're going to use this to suss out a good looking front armor part. I'm getting scissors. Okay, so we know that it's got to wrap around him and just at least a little bit over halfway. So I'm going to cut it in half, not even measured in half, just to kind of in half. And I'm going to start making some ribs. And this might not be the ultimate best way to do this, but again, I don't have a great plan. I was going to watch the other people that made videos on this. I had seen the Dave O'Gara one, and I knew that that DM Scotty dude made one, but I didn't have a chance to do my research to see how they went about their business. And honestly, I just, truth be told, don't really care how they did theirs. Like, not to be a dick, but like, I do my stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that to get that like little fold on the front of it, what we do is we fold that in half, and then we kind of get glue in there, and we mush that down. This is probably not the best way to do this. Again. And then we open this up the best we can, and we glue that all around. Just like, you know, like that. And then we're going to have to hold that for a moment and kind of get that in place. Now, we're going to build up rock around that part there. So don't worry about how good or bad that looks. That's not going to be such an issue. Same deal. Not sure how many times we need to do that. Maybe that's not the smartest way to handle this. I don't know. But I think it's creating that little shape I kind of want to get. All right. So I'm thinking that we probably don't need to put that initial glue in that seam inside. We could probably just do this with that glue gun and the heat and get that same result. I don't think that's actually adding anything to the craft. I don't know. Again, should have done my research. Now this is really shiny cardboard. It's real slippery. And I'm not sure how good of a bond we're getting, but when we come back and do the back, I think that we'll find that we're happier with how it works out. But until then, we won't know. Okay. So I just want to kind of space these out the best I can. And they're not going to be perfect, and that's okay. La 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 la, smell my butt. She said, smell my butt. Have you guys ever done anything to offend anybody accidentally? Like, made up a nickname for someone that you thought was kind of funny and wasn't bad, but turns out it upset them for whatever reason? If you've ever boneheaded and done something like that, why don't you tell me about it in the comments? Not like a little I did that, but like tell me what you did, because I have a habit of nicknaming people, and I don't do it maliciously, I swear it. But sometimes things come out different than you intend them to, and we all know that. It's not a matter of what you meant, it's a matter of how it was perceived. So even I, you know, and I'm older and I should know better, I'm not always careful about the jokes I make or the things I say or the nicknames I come up with for people. And I'm sure other people do that too, and I know it's not like about social class or color or religion or age or anything. It's just we as human beings do bonehead things. So if you've made up said something, you know, to upset someone, or, you know, created a problem just because you were being a little silly, I'd like to know about it. And if I get enough people that want to admit they're idiots, I might tell you what dumb thing I did, but I doubt I'll get more than 4 or 5 people to say something. I'll tell you what. We get... I don't even know how to make a deal. I'm not making any deals. I don't know anything. Ignore me. Just ignore me. I was going to say, if we can do this, I'll do that. But I don't know what I'm going to do. So now, to streamline this process, now that I kind of see what I'm trying to accomplish, this should make it a lot faster and easier. So if you're watching and you saw how I was doing it first, well, it's because I didn't know what I was going to do. Now that I have an idea how I'm doing it, you can see the new cheaty method that is way more faster and much quicker. I don't feel like I got a good crease, so I am going to come back over that on some of these, I think. But otherwise, yeah, it looks like it's going to do what we want. Can't think of what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. No. Chicken pot pie. Love me some chicken pot pie. Man, I'm super tired. I could go to bed right now. Right now. Come on, you get up there. There we go. We're starting to get a kind of okay look there. It's not perfect, but it's getting in that ballpark, you know what I mean? Okay. And we're pretty much up on the neck. So we know that because of the way this guy curls, that the inner spikes on this part go there. But we're going to turn this one upside down and go from that side to make it flush. And then we'll start going the other way. So on the tail, we're starting upside down with our spikes. Because if you look at how they come down this way, they're going to come up this way opposite on this part. What am I doing wrong here? Well, here's what we're doing wrong. These need to be like this. Okay. Starting up here. So let's get and fix that right off the bat. We know these have to be around, wrapping around the other way, coming from the bottom down. This is the bottom. This is the top. That's my fault, and it happens. We can't be perfect. And imperfections sometimes end up being some of the best parts of a craft. So panicking or getting upset because we made a mistake, no problem. Okay. And we're just going to reuse this one and keep going. I will tell you, perfection is not a prerequisite of a good craft. We will make mistakes. We will have to figure out how to fix them. We will have to mitigate to save ourselves from losing resources in the form of our materials we use to craft with. And that's natural and okay. I am going to have to take a break to look at the reference art we're working off of too, because I'm starting to get like, I can't even think of what it looked like anymore. I'm just crafting and like a mutant at this point, just like zoned out making stuff. And that is probably not the successful way to go about this. So let's, after I get this part done, let's take a moment to see where we are. Get some glue on there to kind of strengthen that up. Okay. When I was growing up, no one called me by my real name. And then when I got in the Army, no one called me by my real name. It's really funny. And I recently went to a friend's house that I grew up with for just a short visit. Mostly to see his mom, really. I mean, to see him too, but, you know, I haven't seen his mom in a long time. she was always really good to me. And I went to go see them. And it was so weird. She called me by my first name. In my entire life, her, everyone in that family and all the families I hung out with, for the most part, never called me my first name. They always called me, like, either my last name or this nickname that I had growing up. So it was so weird when I was giving her a hug, and I'm not like a big hugger or toucher in general, but I gave her a hug because, I care about her, and I've known her most of my life. I gave her a hug, and she told me she was proud of me and that I've turned into a fine man. I don't think she realizes how old I am at this point. She probably always will see me as like this, teenage troublemaker that thinks he knows everything. Because that's kind of, I think, how a lot of people have me locked in their memory as a doofus that causes drama. But I did grow up, thank God. Yeah, but she called me by my first name, and it was so weird. I didn't even know she knew my first name. I know when I went off to the army, like, when people were like, so-and-so went to the army, a lot of the people that knew me were like, who's that? Damn. And I say, she called me by my first name. That's not even true. I don't go by my first name. No one, not even my parents, call me by my real first name. I go by my middle name, which I consider to be my first name. So my biological father wasn't part of my life, and I have the same first name as my biological father. I don't want that dirty SOB to get credit for any of the good or bad I ever do. So I don't go by his name. I go by my middle name. So when I say she called me by my first name, I'm lying. She called me by my middle name. All right, we got to get one more of those going, and I think we're going to be set like Jet. I need something a little wider for this last one. Yeah, so it was weird that she knew my middle name, because I don't think anybody knew my first name. My wife knows it. My ex-wife knows it. My parents know it. My oldest sons know it. I haven't really bothered to tell the little boys, because they don't really have any reason to know it that I'm aware of. I've contemplated getting it legally changed over the years and just thought to myself, that's not worth the effort. All right, here we are. Something like that. And now let's look at his back shell part, the back chitin. Okay, so it's similar, and there are some side edges there. So we got that like V going down, and there's like a pop out part. So I'm not sure how to connect that to make that. Ow, my dang knee. Dang my knee. So for the back part, we're going to do something similar, but we're going to use foam. Okay. And that's got to come around and fold. Yeah, okay, that'll work. So let's cut this in half, or fold this in half. The best we can. And let's see if we can use the glue gun to kind of create a crease in that. I'm not as worried about the crease on the back because I don't think it's as prevalent, and we can't really see his back or his or her back well, but we can definitely do that. No, see, that's not going to help our cause at all. Okay, then we won't. So let's start with our scales. Now we're at 35 minutes, so I think at this point, I'm going to attach these and we're going to call it and come back for a part 2. And this is a pretty big one, so I think we're going to need a part 3 to paint it too. So we'll glue these on and get started. And those go down. So we'll glue this one up first. You know what I just thought would be cool is to do a purple worm that is like mechanical. But the next time I deviate from the monster manual, I have to do the false hydra, because someone asked me to on one of my comments. And the false hydra is actually a pretty terrifying and gross creature if you go online and like read about it. And like I knew about it already, because like this is something people have been whispering about for like a long time. The false hydra, the false hydra, the false hydra. But it's a pretty gross creature. If you don't know what a false hydra is, I think Dungeon Dad or Dungeon Monster of the Week, or I'm not sure what the channel is called. It's the dude's the Dungeon Dad. He's a younger guy, it seems like, but he's pretty knowledgeable and he's interesting, and he's edits his videos like a grown up and shit. So if you don't know what a false hydra is, I'm pretty sure he made a video about it. He makes a lot of videos about some of those off like creatures from older editions or from the Dragon magazines and stuff. So like if you're trying to find something obscure or different to throw at your party that's not in the current monster manual, he's your dude. Like I might make a lot of crazy custom stuff, but this dude goes through like stuff with well fleshed out stat blocks. I don't believe that well fleshed out stat blocks are akin to success, so I don't, I'm not your guy for that, but this dude is your guy for that. Another thing, people asking about if I'm a good DM. Well, no, I'm just a DM. Good DMs probably get paid tons of money. And I get paid no money to be a DM. I just do it because I love to, and because my family and friends enjoy it. I don't know. Like, I've obviously been on the Wizards website since the beginning. I'm like one of the registered DMs. I've done it at game stores and stuff. But it's not like... I don't know. I'm just not like a good DM. I'm just like... I don't even like DM anymore, technically, because I stopped using D&D. I don't use the system at all. I do my own system now. And that's all I like to do is my system. I don't ever want to go back. Like, I have no desire to go back. I feel like Hasbro's made their decision how they feel about my generation and our groups. I have no desire to pay them any mind. I've developed my own system that I enjoy, that my players seem to be enjoying. There's some growing pains with it. We're working through them. But yeah, I'm not a DM anymore. I'm a GM. Though, I think it would be funny to call people who run the games in the Tomorrow Comes Doom system DMs, as in Doommeisters. But I'm worried there'll be some kind of, something with that, because everybody's always angry. The whole world's angry. You stole my idea! Dude, people have been stealing ideas since the beginning of time. Shut your mouth. Shut your dang pie hole, you idiots. How fitting that I'm using this beautiful purple foam to make my purple worm. Match made in heaven, eh? So I had a little weird spot where it went over the edge right there, but I think it's going to be okay. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. All right, so that's what we got so far, and I'm too tired to keep going. I literally need to go to bed. I have to get up early and go back out. So tomorrow I'll come back and do part 2. But I will post this tonight. I'm not going to have my normal screenshots or normal photos that I use for my thumbnails and stuff. I'm just going to take a photo where we're at here and use that for now. And maybe I'll come back and replace it later. I don't know. But anyways, hey, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate your time and the energy you spend hanging out with me. I know there's a lot of interesting channels out there, and I'm not on that list of like the top tier. I don't edit my videos, and I don't have a good setup. I'm using a phone on like a rig that I've changed 3 or 4 times, and I understand that. So I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with me and stick with me. Let's hope that we can make our purple worm great, so that it's good and we can go down in the Hall of Fame as good purple worm makers. I'm not going to hold my breath on that, but I think so far it looks like it's going to be okay. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, check out the website, join the Discord. Links will be in the description at some point. Thank you.